My name is Victoria Chong,
And my name is Kyle.
and we are honored to be able to speak to you today as your class of 2017 valedictorians of 70. Grade 7s, we are shooting stars, shining luminously in a darkened sky. Interlinked in a constellation, we have been gathered together through our education. Our school is our constellation. It is where we begin our lives. However, all shooting stars are meant to go out into the world. We are meant to smash into everything and to leave an impact wherever we may go. When we begin to dart across the dark night sky, one will see the bright intelligence that exists within each and every one of us. We are leaving our constellation today to embark on our futures. Today, we will begin to leave our marks wherever life takes us. But before we start running towards our future, it is good to remember and be grateful about our past, our history at Corpus Christi School.
Our journey here all began in kindergarten, which was taught by the very patient Miss Tina Berry, Miss Mahan, and Miss Long, our first teachers who taught us how to be confident, how to make friends, and how to live our faith through prayer and song. It was not all fun, however, since kindergarten was also when we got our first report cards. We wouldn't call it a superstition, but we believe that it was quite the coincidence that it was pouring rain on the first day we got our report cards. Overall, kindergarten was fun, and it taught us that no matter how young you are, you can still have goals. In grade 1, we were starting to get more excited for the many opportunities the future presented, including being a student of the dedicated Mrs. Holmes and Miss Campion. This grade taught us that you have to choose to be the best you can be. We were also overjoyed when Mrs. Holmes asked our grade to be part of her wedding. The girls got to be flower girls, and Elijah got to be doing beer. Mrs. Holmes and Miss Campanelli taught us that lasting relationships are formed through sharing joyful experiences.
Grade 2 was taught by Miss Rogers and Miss Ricky, and they both gave us very special gifts by helping us receive our first sacrament of reconciliation and first Holy Communion. Grade 2 was also full of discoveries that helped us develop more curious minds, especially during our salmon release at Stanley Park. This grade taught us that no matter how small you are, you can still hold a potential much bigger than yourself. Grade 3, taught by Miss Prada and Miss Matthias, was where we all began to develop deeper friendships. In this year, we learned how to find the motivation to persevere through the survivor writing projects. This year was a bit scary too, because it was our first track attack. We always panicked a bit when the horns blare out and everyone cheers you on to run 1,500 meters in 3 seconds. This grade taught us that the outside world is full of people who can intimidate you and scare you, but you can also find good-hearted, loving people that care about you and like you for who you are, like your friends.
Grade 4 was taught by Mrs. Randis, Miss Long, and Mr. Calderwood, who always made us feel like a big family. They took us to the big house, where we developed our sense of adventure and a hunger for thrills and freedom, and also the hunger for those delicious meatballs they had in camp. We also learned the importance of studying through the FSAs, but it definitely wasn't as fun as the big house. Grade 4 taught us to respect others and to live our lives to the fullest. Grade 5 was taught again by Miss Parada, Miss Kozak, and Miss Long, where we hold a special memory of going to Britannia Mines and to the Parliament building in Victoria, where we met Suzanne and Tom. These trips were fun because we became immersed in the history of this beautiful province we live in. This grade was also when we performed Uptown Funk at the talent show. Grade 5 not only told us to be confident in our academics, but we also learned to be confident in ourselves.
Grade 6, taught by Miss Parker, Miss Alessandro, Miss Stone, Miss DeLuca, Miss Giaconi, and Miss Mobilio, was an adventurous year where we began learning how to be leaders. We were leaders during our first skiing trip, during the sun run, and especially during pranks. On April Fool's Day, Adriano pranked Miss Mobilio. He made a note saying she got fired and put it on the desk. Miss Mobilio started freaking out, crying. But apparently it was a ruse. Miss Mobilio decided to play along and double April Fools recognize Adriano's handwriting. Grade 6 taught us to live life in a moment and to the fullest.
Grade 7, taught by Mr. Sir Ilya, Ms. Franco, Mr. DeLuca, Mr. Gabriel, and Mr. Mastromonaco, had the trip to Camp Elphinstone and confirmation. These were the most recent highlights of our elementary years, in addition to the many projects that engage our creativity. Grade 7 taught us that we can be trusted with responsibility, that we can use technology to help us achieve our goals, and that we can step up to be the next leaders of our school and church in this community. We'd also like to thank Ms. Leera, Ms. Anderson, and Ms. Ramajita, who taught us that we can share feelings, ideas, and messages through music. Thank you, Mrs. Nicole, for keeping the school organized and for always keeping us safe. Thank you, Father Hamilton and Father Prashant, for directing us to become better followers of Jesus. And finally, we would like to thank Mr. Pena, who taught us a big lesson in humility. That we need to know what it feels like to lose in order to cherish winning even more. These past grades have taught us invaluable lessons, and we are thankful to be part of such a great school.
We are gathered here today because, once again, we are leaving our constellation. Today, as graduates of Corpus Christi, we will become shooting stars. Each of us has a purpose, which is to make an impact in order to change the world to make it a better place for everyone. Why were we put on this earth if not to create something new? We are all citizens of the world, and we shall work together to make the world better. After all, we have homes, resources, and families. We owe it to the world and everyone in it to help solve world issues together. Opportunities to help others are limitless, and we can do it. We all have a purpose, and we are people who are going to make a difference, no matter how large or small. In the future, we will all face challenges. Life will surround us with darkness. However, we will manage to shine even in the darkest moments of the night. We have long journeys ahead, and we must continue to strive and to move forward each and every day. Gandhi once said, "Live as if you were to die tomorrow, learn as if you were to live forever." I encourage us to follow our dreams as if we were to die tomorrow, and to live our lives with no regrets. I believe that we will all be successful, so long as we follow our dreams and live our lives to the fullest.
From the view of that day in kindergarten, today seemed incredibly far. All the years that have gone by have just become memory, just as hasty as today will become memory. Now we must look to our futures. I believe that we shooting stars will make great changes for the better of our society. The sky is not the limit, it is most definitely the beginning. When we go out into the world, we will find that all the possibilities are limitless. I would like to say congratulations to the grade 7 class of 2017. I wish us all good luck as we go out there, not just to the students, but to the teachers and parents who put us in this wonderful school. Thank you all for making this part of our lives the greatest. Let us go higher in the sky.